wheelchair. Hi, my name is Luke. I'm 14 and disabled. I have a mom, a younger sister, and a younger brother. My sister's name is Katie, and my brother's name is Jack. I also have a group of friends. We are called the Nerds. There's me, the bullied one, Nikki, the shy one, Michael, the smart one, and Carly, the funny and outgoing one. Actually, scratch me being the bullied one. We are all bullied, but it hurts me the most, so I'm pretty much the sensitive one. We all get bullied by a kid named Jacob. He isn't the same grade as me, but is more popular and larger. Not to be mean or anything, but he's kinda dumb. Well, enough about me. Let's get into the story of how I became the way I am now. It was a winter night. Me and my dad were going to get cake for Katie's birthday. In the road, there was a humongous patch of black ice. "Dad, look out!" I called. It was too late. The car had slipped on it, and we went flying. The car was spinning and spinning and spinning. It spun so fast that I almost threw up. After all that spinning, the car flipped over and started to tumble down the bumpy hill. As we were tumbling, I saw a cop running down the hill, talking into his walkie-talkie. As the car was finally making it to the bottom of the hill, my seatbelt snapped open, and I went flying inside the car. A window shattered, and I flew out. That's when I fell unconscious, and my right leg impaled in a nearby tree. I couldn't really see anything, but I could hear. I heard the sound of the ambulance and the police cars. That one sound got me was the sound of someone crying very loudly. I couldn't really feel anything, but I knew that someone was approaching me because I heard the sound of walkie-talkie noises. After that, I just gave up. I couldn't hear, feel, or see. All I was able to do was think, and I didn't do much of that either. I just laid there on the ground, lifeless. When I woke up, the first thing I saw was Katie. "Mom! Jack! He's awake!" her cute little voice said. "Luke, is it true? Can you hear me?" Mom asked. "Yeah, I can hear you," I responded. My sight was very foggy, but as I blinked more and more, it started to come back to me. "Luke, you okay?" Jack asked. He put his tiny little hand on my arm and looked at me. I smiled back and said, "I'm good. I just don't feel right." "Well, that's because your leg is..." Jack started to say, but Mom covered his mouth. "What about my leg?" I asked. I lifted the blanket. My legs were under. Well, my leg was under. My right leg was gone. It looked like my pants were a balloon and the right side of it was deflated. At the moment, I was in total shock. I put down the blanket and said nothing. After a minute or two of complete silence, my mom started to talk to me. "Well, you aren't coming home till tomorrow," she said. "But tomorrow's Christmas Eve," Katie whined. "I know, and we are supposed to pick him up at 12 so he can spend the night with us and open up presents on Christmas," Mom replied. "But it won't be the same," Jack sobbed. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Dad is..." Again, Jack started to speak, but Mom covered his mouth. "Wait, what happened to Dad? Mom, I need to know these things. You can't just hide them from me," I said sternly. Katie started to cry. "Your father is dead," she said. I was astounded. I couldn't even speak. My best friend, gone. I put my head down and started to cry. My dad was my best friend, and now he's dead. As I opened my eyes to a new day, I started to realize that it's Christmas Eve. I can't believe that it's already here. I wish Dad was here, though. I remember the time when I was playing baseball. I was the bat, Jacob was the pitcher. He purposely threw the baseball at my eye. He got what he wanted. It did hit my eye. When it did, he started to laugh and said, "Whoops, sorry. I guess the baseball doesn't like your stupid face." All of his teammates started to laugh with him. My dad ran into the field and asked if I was okay. Before I could answer, Jacob started to talk again. He said, "Ha, you're such a baby, crying to your daddy." Then I said, "I'm fine, Dad." I got up and walked over to Jacob and said, "If you think that you can call me a baby just because my dad cares, then you've got another thing coming." I punched Jacob in the face. Just before Jacob could hit me back, the coach started for us. I was expecting for him to yell at me because I punched someone in the face, but surprisingly, he yelled at Jacob. "If you think hitting a little boy in the face with a baseball is funny, then you don't deserve to be playing baseball." Then he grabbed Jacob on the arm and dragged him away, only leaving his baseball glove behind. The real meaning of that memory wasn't because I hit Jacob in the face. No, it wasn't. The real meaning was that instead of Dad asking if I was okay from the bleachers, he ran down to the field and asked. It really meant that he cared. I rubbed my eyes to wake myself up more. This isn't how I'm used to waking up, all alone in the hospital. I really don't like being here. It reminds me of surgery and other things like that, and I'm very spastic when it comes to stuff like that. I just sit there and lay in my bed. I don't really know what to do right now. There isn't that much to do in a hospital room. I noticed some magazines and a Bible next to me on the table. I reached for one of the magazines. It had a picture of a lovely-looking kitchen, and the title was called Better Homes and Gardens. It did look very interesting. I was about halfway through the magazine when my door opened. I put the magazine back on the table. My mom walked in with the doctor. The doctor pushed a wheelchair in the room. Now, Luke, this may seem new to you, but you're going to have to deal with this for a while, the doctor explained. I slowly got up from the bed and hopped over to my wheelchair. I sat in it. I got this feeling. My mom started to fill up with tears as I tried to move around in it. She opened the door for me, and I saw Jack and Katie. Luke! They both screamed and tried to hug me. I shuddered, and they quickly got off. So Luke is coming home? Jack asked the doctor. Yes, the doctor said with a smile. Yay! Katie screamed.